Hello guys, welcome back to C Fashion Academy. Today I'll be teaching you guys how to measure for a female senator top. Please guys, I want you to make sure you watch this video to the end so as to uncover all the secrets, and make sure you click on the like button. Also, if you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Thank you and may God bless you.
Okay, so guys, I'll be showing us how to measure for a female senator. Okay, we have our measurements already here. We start from what? Shoulder. So how do you really measure your shoulder? Like I said in my previous videos, the way you measure shoulder is from what? You measure from the what? Left collarbone to the what? Right collarbone. Do you understand what I mean? Now, see what I mean. At this point of the shoulder, you notice that as hand is like, see her hand, are you seeing it? See her shoulder. Then you notice a joint here. Do you understand? So at this joint is called the what? The collarbone. So sometimes you can feel it by what? Touching it. Do you understand? Okay, so that's what you do. Measure from here. Are you seeing it? From this collarbone to this particular collarbone. Now her measurement is what? 15 inches. Do you understand? Okay, look at it from this collarbone to this particular collarbone. Like I said, this collarbone is the joint. Do you understand? Between the shoulder and the hand. Do you understand? At that point is where you measure from the left to the right, or from the right to the left. Okay. So after we are done with that particular measurement, next we need to measure is what? The sleeve length. Now look at this. This is very important. The moment you finish measuring, in fact, it's even advisable for you to measure the sleeve length immediately you finish measuring for the what? Shoulder. Now look at it. From here to here, like I said, is 15. Do you understand? So for you to measure the sleeve length, you still keep your hand here. Do you understand? Now put your tape from this place. Do you understand? Then you continue to measure for the what? The sleeve. Now look at it. Let's say we want to make a short sleeve for her. That is a short sleeve of what? 8 inches. So immediately you reach at this 8 inches, please also put your hand here. Do you understand? And take this particular one round. Do you understand? Round exactly at that what? 8 inches. Please don't measure 8 inches and go and put it down here. Do you understand? Okay, so let me repeat it. Let's say this is where the shoulder stops. So from there we continue 8 inches. Do you understand? Now measure the what? The circumference of the 8 inches. Now as you are measuring on your own, you will now, like, you ask the customer whether he or she wants it fitted. Do you understand? Let's say she wants her own fitted. In that case, it's supposed to be what? 10 inches. Very fitted. Do you understand? So if it's supposed to be fitted but not very fitted, it should be what? 10 and a half. But if she wants it free, all you need to do is that, now see, if she wants it free, if it is the fitted one is what? 10 and a half. Now all you need to do is to do what? Add extra 1 and a half to it. Do you understand? 10 and a half plus 1 and a half is going to give you what? That is if you want it to be free. 10 and a half plus 1 and a half is what? 12 inches. Do you understand? So if I'm making for her for a free sleeve, it should be what? 12 inches circumference. Okay, now let's say I'm also making for a long sleeve. Do you understand? I'm done with what? Short sleeve. Now let's say I'm making for a long sleeve. Excuse me. Now look at it from that same point. Do you understand? When you're measuring for a long sleeve, there are many things involved. There are many measurement that you're supposed to do. Remember, short sleeve is just what? Sleeve length and what? Round sleeve. While long sleeve, we have what? Elbow. Do you understand? Elbow here, and we have what? Sleeve length. Do you understand? So now, first of all, you measure the elbow from here down to the what? The elbow. So you can see elbow is what? 12. Do you understand? So on that point, also take it to what? Round and measure. Okay, take it round. Now let's say what we have here now is 10 inches. Do you understand? And if you really want to make that particular senator or that particular shade, whatever you are sewing, do you understand? If you want to make it for here not to be like when you bend your hand, it will be so tight on you. So all you need to do is to do what? Ask the person to bend her hand. Do you understand? Ask the person to bend the elbow. So as you can see now, it is no longer 10, rather what? Rather 11. Do you understand? So let me repeat it once more. Look at it. At that same point, look at it. Elbow, are you saying it? 10. Now ask the person to bend. You now see the movement of the tape. Are you saying it? Are you saying it? The tape has really done what? Increased. So at the end of the, what do we have? 11 or 11 1/4. Okay, so that is it. You measure your what? Elbow length, which we have what? 12, and we measure your what? Round elbow. So the elbow length is what? 12, while the round elbow is what? 11 1/4. Do you understand? Now let me give you another tricks. Another tricks is that if you've gotten your what? Elbow length, and you did not measure it, what do you do, please? What you do is that, how do you get the round elbow? Is what? Please, whatever you get as your what? Elbow length, use it as your what? Round table. That is a particular tip that is very, very important. Do you understand? But for the sake of this particular tutorial, as you can see, I'm actually measuring it to get the measurement. Okay, so next is what? The sleeve length, long sleeve length. So long sleeve, there are two ways of measuring long sleeve length. If you need a long sleeve that at the end of the day, see, if you need a long sleeve that at the end of the day want it to be kind of fitted, do you understand? I want it to kind of modern, not official. How do you measure it? Take it like this. Ask the person to straighten her hand. Take it like this. Measure. What we have here now is on the wrist. Please, this is supposed to stop at the wrist. So what we have here now is what? 22 inches. Do you understand? Okay, that is what the sleeve length. So immediately after you finish measuring the sleeve length, measure the what? Round sleeve. Now, this round sleeve depends. If you are making a sleeve that has what? Curve. A sleeve that here is supposed to be tight. You should also do what? Measure tight. Now, like as you can see, I did not measure that very, very tight. Do you understand? But if it's going to have a curve, here should be what? Tight. As you can see, what we have here now is what? 7. Do you understand? Okay, still on this long sleeve. Remember the first long sleeve that I explained is just normal long sleeve that you don't necessarily need to do what? Bend your hand like this. Do you understand? But there is this particular one when you are working on an official shirt. Remember what you are just doing is what? Senator. So if you want, whichever one you want to use, you can use that. Do you understand? But let me still show you how to measure for an official shirt. When you are measuring, this is how you measure. You don't measure straight like I've measured initially. This is how you measure. You ask the person to bend hand a little bit. Bend your hand, please. No, the elbow. Okay, are you saying it? So you measure. No, take it down. You measure like this. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, instead of 22, what do we have here is what? 24. Do you understand? It's actually increased. Do you understand? Thank you. So that means when you're wearing the shirt, that's when you usually notice excess around this particular point. This excess is for what? Is so that you can be able to do what? Bend your hand through and through. Do you understand? But in most cases, ladies don't usually like this method of what? Measuring sleeve. Do you know why? It gives them what? Excess. That's why they don't like it. But I'm just telling you because this is how to measure for a standard sleeve length for a what? An official shirt. But for your senator, you can actually make use of this one. Please, you can actually make use of this one. Do you understand? Okay. So next we need to measure is the what? We need to measure for the what? Round chest or what? The round bust. Do you understand? So measuring for there are two ways to take measurement. Please, I forgot to tell us this thing. There are two main ways of taking measurement. The first one is what? The fitted measurement and the what? The free measurement. When you are measuring, doing fitted measurement, it means that you measure in a fitted form and add the allowance while doing what? Marking on your what? Fabric. Why the free measurement is the one that you measure even on the body free. You don't add any other allowance on the what? Material. The only allowance you add on the material is not for the ease, rather for the what? Just for sewing. Do you understand? So whichever one the one we are going to, okay, let me show you guys. In order to measure for the bust, now look at it. If you are using fitted measurement in order to measure for the bust, see what you do. You measure for the bust like this. Look at it. Let's say the round bust is what? 36 inches. Do you understand? So if I make use of fitted method, that is measuring exactly what I have on the body. So when I get to my paper or when I get to my material, I add body what? Body allowance and body what? Seam allowance. So example, let's say what I have here now is what? 36. So while marking it on our fabric, it should be what? 36 divided by what? 4, which should give us what? 9. You usually add extra 2 inches to it. That 2 inches serves as the what? The body allowance and for the what? Seam allowance. Do you understand? Okay. But if you are dealing on free method of measuring, we don't measure exactly like this. What we do is what? You ask the customer, you do it like this. Look at it. Are you saying it? You ask the customer, hello man, is it okay like this? Is it free? Is it as free as you want it? Do you understand? So if the customer said that it's not free as she wants it, all you need to do is to do what? Increase it. But if the customer said that it's excess, all you need to do is to do what? Decrease it. So let's say the customer wants it like this. That means what we have is what? 7 inches. And please, while measuring, all you need to do is also do what? Not just on the bust, take it down. Do you understand? To see whether it can go through. As you can see, her stomach is not big, do you understand? But some persons, their stomach is bigger, even almost bigger than even the body. So that's why you measure, you take it down. Do you understand? So let's say in a situation whereby the stomach is bigger, that means you don't really need to use the bust as your what? Bust measurement. You now use the what? The stomach as the what? Bust measurement. Example, if when you measure bust and bust is like this now, free 38 inches. and you measure the stomach, it is what? 39 inches. It means that when you are cutting it on your fabric, you should use what? 39 inches. That is from the what? Stomach. Use it for your what? Bust measurement down. Do you understand? So this is very, very important. So what we have is what? 38 free, and what we have is what? 36 fitted. Okay guys, so while working on the remember what I just showed you now is what? The free method of measurement for a senator and the what? The fitted method. Do you understand? Okay, but please, for the sake of this particular tutorial, I'll be restricting this to what? The fitted method of measurement. The one that I'll measure exactly what I have on the body, and on my material I add extra what? 2 inches allowance to it. Do you understand? But at least I've shown you guys how to get the what? The free method measurement. Please, I also want to let you know that if you're making use of the free method measurement, you don't necessarily need to measure other parts like the underbust. Do you understand? And the what? Do you understand? So you just only have to put it and do what? Bring it, go take it what? Up and then down. So let me continue for the what? Fitted measurement. That is, I'm going to be measuring the what? The underbust. Okay, measuring the underbust. What we have here now, let's say what we have here now is what? What we have here now is what? 30 inches. Do you understand? What we have here now is 30 inches. Okay, so next you need to measure. Please measure your bust, measure your underbust. You don't necessarily need to measure the what? The hip line. Do you understand? Most people, some persons measure the hip line, but I can tell you, you don't necessarily need to measure the hip line. Why? Because we are making a senator, and the senator has what? Slits. So on our material, we are going to be using the bust as the what? The hip line. So the two measurements which are very, very necessary on the body is the what? The round bust and the what? The underbust. Or the round bust, the underbust, and the what? The waist. Do you understand? So these are measurements which are very, very necessary. Okay, so next measurement is what? The senator top length. Do you understand? So like I said, while making a senator, please, you can position the length wherever you want it to be. Do you understand? It's on the customer's own discretion. Do you understand? So, but as a professional, my advice to you is that whenever you are making a senator, please always try to make sure that the senator is around this part of the what? Crotch. It's covering your what? Crotch. As you can see this crotch now, the reason for that is so that, let's say in a situation whereby this zip here spoils, do you understand? The senator top can be able to do what? Cover it comfortably. Do you understand? So measuring the top length is what? I can actually use, okay, I can actually use like 27 for her. Do you understand? 27 for her. Remember what I said, you can use whatever length you want, but as a professional I'll be giving you this particular one. Do you understand? 27 is what? Okay for her. Please also know that it depends on the style of the senator you want to sew. Sometimes you can choose to make a senator that is longer. There's even the ones that are reaching on the knee. This is on your own discretion, whichever one you want to use. Okay, so next we are going to do is what? We are going to measure the what? The round neck. It is very, very important, because if you did not measure the round neck, it will be so hard for you to get exactly the round neck. You know, while cutting for a senator top, the round neck is not usually so free like our normal necks. Do you understand? It's usually what? Fitted, but not that it's going to choke you, but rather it will be okay. So while measuring, this is how you measure for your what? Round neck. Look at it. Place it. Now when I say place it like this, this one will obviously choke her. Do you understand? So let's say it is fitted like this. Are you seeing it? So all you need to do is to know, you can give what? Extra 1 inch to it. Do you understand? Let's say the fitted is what? 13 inches. You can give what? Extra 1 inch to it. At least this one is free. It is not too free. Do you understand? She's going to be comfortable while wearing the clothes. So this is how to measure for the neck. Okay guys, so the next part for us to measure is the what? The underbust length. Okay. There are some methods that you will use to cut your senator top. You don't need to measure the what? Underbust length. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be measuring the what? Underbust length. That is what? From shoulder to the what? Underbust. Okay, so let's measure. So our underbust length is 13 inches. Do you understand? So our underbust is 13 inches. So that is it.
Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please, I want you to check out for the part 2 how to cut a female senator top. Make sure you check it out, and also make sure you do what? Like this video in order to have access to more of our videos. Thank you very much.